Hi, everyone. I know I've been a little bit MIA lately, but I wanted to let you know that it's because I'm traveling. I decided to take a little time to travel the border of Texas and what is the border of New Mexico as well in Mexico. And so today I am in Puerto Palomas. Here's the border. It is the border of Columbus, New Mexico and Puerto Palomas, Mexico. And I'm here, and this is actually in 1916. Pancho Villa launched his attack on Columbus, New Mexico. Let me show you what the structure is here. There's this big sculpture behind me, which is pretty grandiose. And so, you know what? I thought it was important for me to visit, the country that my family is from, visit border towns. I am a border town girl. I think a lot of people have forgotten that. I think it took a while for the first Trump White House to figure it out that, yes, there was actually a Mexican working in the White House. Don't tell Stephen Miller. But I just figured it was important to kind of context to what's happening here before Stephen Miller decides to unilaterally start bombing random towns and cartels in Mexico, which I think is the plan. And I'm telling you this because this was discussed in meetings that I was in as the Homeland Security Advisor to Vice President Mike Pence the first time around, about what they were planning to do. And as I watch what's happening in Venezuela, which, by the way, I have some interesting takes on that because I worked on Venezuela during the first Trump administration. And it's interesting watching what the Trump administration is doing now because, they had an opportunity to really help the people of Venezuela the first time around. And the reality is that Trump bailed on them. He decided that the opposition leader at the time, Guaido, was weak. That's what he called him. He decided that Maduro was strong. And so it's interesting watching, and it makes me wonder, what are they going to do now? As we see military forces positioned near Venezuela, as we see them bombing these boats that they claim are cartels and drug people, there's a lot of mixed reporting on that, on what it actually is and what it actually isn't, whether it's people that are fishermen. So a lot remains to be told, but I'm watching that situation closely because I also am wondering, will they actually help the people of Venezuela? Should they actually succeed in whatever it is their attempts are to do, whether it's, going actually and taking out Maduro possibly? Are we assassinating people now overseas? Is that what we're doing now? Who knows? We don't know what the reality is. But I do have some concerns about what I'm seeing develop there. And I do hope for the freedom and the libertad in actuality to Venezuela. But like I said, having lived it the first time around and been the policy person firsthand and watching what they were doing, I am not convinced that the Trump administration will actually stick by the people. So we'll see. We'll see how that develops. But anyways, that brings me back to Mexico and what's happening there. And so here we are. We're in the border here. As you can see, it's pretty peaceful. There's people in the town hanging out. I wanted to show you this really great town. I want to show you something that's super special to me. And I want to show you the pink store. And I'm going to walk you through it a little bit. There's like some awesome music. It's very peaceful. Nothing going on here. I think there are a lot of stories out there that tell you that the border towns in Mexico are terrible. Right now, it's pretty peaceful. We're having a good time. We're having lunch. We're hanging out. We're enjoying it. People cross the border. This is what daily life was for me growing up. It's bringing family here in Mexico, experiencing joy on the border, celebrating different cultures. We're neighboring countries and we're just staying strong together. But I wanted to show you this beautiful place because it is a place that matters to me. And so right now I'm at the pink store. I'll show you the sign over here. See, that's why it's called the pink store. And there it is. And I want to show you inside of it too, because it's so magical and so pretty. And the food is delicious, by the way. Let me tell you about that. So right now, bring you in to this little paradise right here. So I'm going to walk through and show you some of the stuff. It's so pretty. It's a special place. And I'm showing you this because it's so artisan, super peaceful, so many amazing things from the culture here behind me. And I wanted to show you the magic of being on the border and what it's like. And being able to cross the border every day and sort of do business. This is part of family outings. I have fond memories of my cousins here. There are Americans here. I just talking to an American on the corner right now. He gave me a thumbs up that I'm sharing this with all of you. And I wish that I was doing this live with you right now, but unfortunately, the internet signal is out. And so I know what it's like to have spotty signal, but I wanted to show you the inside of this place and share my day with you. And as I spend time talking to the locals, talking to them about how they feel about the state of affairs in the world, mixed feelings on it. Everyone's a little nervous when they see the Trump administration literally do things and what they're doing in the way that they're treating immigrants. I think that is of concern. And that is why I just want to keep reminding you that we are neighboring countries and that spending time on the border is pretty amazing. And I encourage you all to explore the border towns. It is not all chaos and danger and the ugliness that people like Susan Miller and others in the feminists want to portray. It is a place where people are friendly, people are enjoying each other's company. It's beautiful. I just had lunch here, accompanied by music. And it's just sort of how I grew up as someone who is Mexican American and who spent a lot of time crossing the bridge. And I'll be crossing back over and heading back home. And eventually, in a few days, maybe I'll be back in DC if I can stomach it right now. But anyways, I wanted to share this with you because I think it's important to bring perspective live from the ground and show you what the culture is. And also tell you, there's a lot of Americans here that I've been talking to. They had a great lunch. And I'll tell you, a lot of them really were just like, please share this beautiful culture. Please share these stories about what's happening here because a lot of the time, we've got this being sided narratives of what really is happening and what isn't, and the reality. And so I feel like it's important to remind people that there are communities and people, and Mexico is a sovereign nation, just like many others. And as we continue to watch what's developing here unilaterally, with the Trump administration breaking protocols, breaking international norms, deciding that they can do whatever the hell they want to do without asking Congress or without asking nationally whether it's okay. I want to remind you that this is part of everyday life.
I hope you've enjoyed this glimpse of the border.